Good day, class. Welcome to another day of learning. I am your science teacher, Sir Roy Kapul, and for this week, we are going to talk about the characteristic of stars and constellations. Now we have this particular most essential learning competency, show which constellation may be observed at different times of the year using models. To begin with, let us have first the review of the past lesson. Let us differentiate climate change from that of global warming. Last time we talked about climate change that it refers to the regional weather change. On the other hand, global warming, we are referring to increasing temperature in a global setting. We can also say that global warming is the cause and climate change would be the effect of global warming. At this point, let us talk about our main topic, which is all about the stars. A star is a massive ball of plasma that emits light throughout the universe. If we're going to recall the three phases of matter, we have the solid, liquid, and gas. We also have the existence of the fourth phase, which is the plasma. Plasma is consists of the hot ionized gas, and we can found this kind of phases of matter in that of a particular star. While there is only one star in our solar system, and that is the Sun, there are billions of stars throughout our galaxy, and exponentially more in the billions of galaxies in the universe. Let's talk about the Sun being our own star in the solar system. The Sun is a star around which Earth and the other planets or components of the solar system revolve. It is the dominant body of the system, constituting more than 99% of its entire mass. So remember or imagine how massive our sun is. The sun is the source of an enormous amount of energy, a portion of which provides Earth with the light and heat necessary to support life. So that is the main role of the sun in our planet. Without the sun, of course, there would be no light. Therefore, our plants will not survive. There will be no existence of food chain. Remember, the plants as the producers is the beginning of the food chain. Let's have the following characteristic of the stars. The first one is brightness, followed by color, then surface temperature. We also have the size, and the last one, which is the mass. Let us discuss them one by one. Let's begin with the brightness. There are two characteristics that define brightness of the stars. It includes luminosity and magnitude. What is luminosity? It is the amount of light that the star radiates or the star produces. The size of the star and its surface temperature determine its luminosity. The larger the star is, and the hotter or the higher would be its surface temperature, therefore the brighter the star is. There is also the term magnitude. Apparent magnitude of a star is its perceived brightness factoring in size and distance, while absolute magnitude is its true brightness irrespective of its distance from the Earth. To make it easier for you to understand, when speak of the apparent magnitude, it depends on the perception of the human, which is viewing the star in the planet Earth. On the other hand, when speak of the absolute magnitude, we are referring to the true brightness of the star, regardless of the viewer. Then we have here Sirius. Sirius is also known as the dog star or Sirius A. It is the brightest star in the Earth's night sky. The name means glowing in Greek, a fitting description as only a few planets, the full moon and the International Space Station, outshine this star. Remember Sirius, the dog star, or Sirius A, the brightest star. Then another characteristic is color. In terms of color, a star's color depends on its surface temperature. That is the main consideration. Cooler stars tend to be redder in color, while hotter stars have a bluer appearance. Just like what is shown in the picture, Stars in the mid-ranges are white or yellow, such as our sun. Stars can also blend colors such as red-orange stars or blue-white stars. Now, how about what is the coldest and the hottest star? We have here the artist's conception shows object name WISE J085510.83-07144.5, the coldest known brown dwarf. Brown dwarfs are dim star-like bodies that lack the mass to burn nuclear fuel as stars do. On the other hand, the hottest known star is WR102, is one of such Wolf Riot sporting a surface temperature more than 35 times hotter than the Sun. The next one or characteristic is surface temperature. Astronomers measure a star's temperature on the Kelvin scale. Remember, when we are talking about temperature, we have three scales, the Celsius, the Fahrenheit, and the Kelvin scale. Since the SI unit is Kelvin, we are using this particular scale to measure the temperature of the stars. 0 degrees on the Kelvin scale is theoretically absolutely and is equal to negative 273.15 degrees Celsius. The coolest, reddest star are approximately 2,500 Kelvin, while the hottest star can reach 50,000 Kelvin. However, our sun is about 5,500 Kelvin. The next characteristic is the size. Astronomers measure the size of a given star in terms of our own sun's radius. So in order to measure the size of the other stars, we are using our sun, which is our star, which is the sun, as the reference. Thus, a star that measures 1 solar radii would be the same size as our sun. The star Rigel, which is much larger than our sun, measures 78 solar radii. A star size along with its surface temperature will determine the luminosity or the brightness of the star. What is the tiniest or the smallest star? Astronomers found tiny star EBLM J0555-57AB only when it passed in front of its larger binary companion which blocks some of the bigger stars' light. Another trivia is we have here the biggest star. Although it's difficult to pin down the exact rates of any given star, based on what we know, the largest star is UY-Scuti, which is some 1,700 times as wide as the Sun. Again, we have the smallest star, which is the EBLM J0555-57AB, and the biggest star, which is UY-Scuti. Then we have here the mass. A star's mass is also measured in terms of our own sun as a reference, with 1 equal to the size of our sun. For instance, we have Rigel, which is more larger than our sun, has a mass of 3.5 solar masses. Two stars of a similar size may not necessarily have the same mass. Remember this one, as stars can vary greatly in density. Okay, density is one of the great factor in order to determine the mass of a particular star. So the most massive star is RMC 136A1. Massive and luminous stars like RMC 136A1 sport extremely powerful stellar winds or the solar wind, which are streams of charged particles flowing from the star's surface, just like what is shown in the illustration. They also emit intense ultraviolet radiation that would be strong enough to sterilize the surface of the Earth. That is how hot and massive RMC 136A1 is. Of course, we are done with the stars. Let us move on to another topic, which is the continuation of stars, and this is constellation. Just like you have shown, you can see in the illustration, a constellation is a group of stars that appears to form a pattern or picture like Orion, the great hunter, Leo, the lion, or Taurus, the bull. Constellations are easily recognizable patterns that help people orient themselves using the night sky. And for the record, there are 88 official constellations. Question is, are the stars in a constellation near each other? What do you think so? Not necessarily. Each constellation is a collection of stars that are distributed in space in 3 dimensions. The stars are all different distances from the Earth. The stars in a constellation appear to be in the same plane because we are viewing them from a very, very far away place. How are constellations named? Most of the constellation names we know came from the ancient Middle Eastern, Greek, and Roman culture. Some of them came from the names of the Roman and Greek gods and goddesses. In some cases, the constellation may have had ceremonial or religious significance. In other cases, the star groupings help out to mark the passage of time between planting and harvesting. On the other hand, modern constellations like the Peacock, the Telescope, and Giraffe were identified by later astronomers of the 1500s, 1600s, and 1700s who used telescope and who were able to observe the night sky in the southern hemisphere. Now, the particular agency which is responsible for the monitoring of constellation is the International Astronomical Union. In 1930, the IAU officially listed 88 modern and ancient constellations. The boundary edges meet, dividing the imaginary sphere, the celestial sphere surrounding the Earth, into 88 pieces. Most of us are wondering what is a zodiac because we are usually reading this particular thing in the newspaper. Zodiac is the group or belt of constellations that fall along the plane of the ecliptic. It is through these constellations that our sun appears to pass during the year. While there are 12 astrological constellations of the zodiac, there are 13 astronomical zodiac constellations, and that include the following: Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpius, Sagittarius, and Ophiuchus. Are all stars part of the constellation? What do you think? The answer is no. There are billions of stars and only a fraction of them make up the shapes of our constellation. These are the stars that are easily seen with the unaided eye. When speak of unaided eye, we are referring to the naked eye. Mean to say, when we are viewing the group or the pattern of star in the sky, we are not using any instrument, just like or just only our own eyes. Ancient observer connected these stars into the star pictures. So here are some of the examples of constellations. As you can see in the illustration, this is Aquarius. Okay, so the first picture is the picture of the constellation and Aquarius. This the photograph beside the original picture is its constellation. Aquarius is a Latin for water carrier or cup carrier. We also have here Aries. Okay, Aries is the Latin name for ram. So last set of examples includes Cassiopeia. In Greek mythology was a vain queen who often boasted about her beauty. Alright. And the last one is Orion. So Orion was massive, supernaturally gifted hunter who was the son of Poseidon. So these are examples of famous constellation that can be seen in the night sky using our naked eye. These are the different references that I made use for my presentation. Thanks for watching.